cheesecake.
Oh, cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake, gobble, gobble, cheesecake, gobble, gobble, cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake, gobble, gobble, cheesecake, crazy old cheesecake. My girl loves cheesecake, she's crazy all the time. When I bring her cheesecake, she treats me mighty fine. Cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake. Cheesecake, cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake, munching on the cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake, gobble, gobble, cheesecake, gobble, gobble, cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake, gobble, gobble, cheesecake, crazy over cheesecake. Take it there, money. Cheesecake, gobble, gobble, cheesecake, gobble, gobble, cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake, gobble, gobble, cheesecake, crazy over cheesecake.
Jealousy does not describe what I just read in chat. I do not know how to describe the jealousy I have at the current moment. Deej, you met Louis Armstrong when you were wow. Anyway, gang, welcome. I just can't get over it now. I'm feeling some kind of way. Anyway, gang, welcome to Riser's Treasure Hunting Emporium's live stream. Yeah, gang, that's right, live stream. We are still here. Yes, gang, we are a live streaming. And yeah, well, I don't know. Anyway, gang, welcome. I tell you what, we're here. Anyway, and wow, it's been a wild couple of months. And I tell you what, between being ill and everything else going on in life, I tell you, it's actually good to be here. But being off, it's actually a good thing because it gave me kind of time to reflect about this thing and make a couple more changes just when you think we couldn't have changed anymore. And but yeah, we're actually going to do a little bit more changes in how I do things on here, and but all for the better. And but you'll see those as we go on. Yes, he was performing with Duke Ellington in I have to ask, did you meet the Duke too? Besides Louis? How envious and jealous can I currently be? You just don't know. If I could, I only joke about having a time machine, but if I could have a time machine, that's the concert I would want to go back and see. Hey, anyway. Wow. That had to have been something. Because that's actually two faves right there together too. Wow. Anyway, gang. So anyway, we got a couple of different things. I have zero, and I like it this way. Don't get me wrong. I do like a scripted show. I do like to have things lined up, and go off one and just throw information out there. And well, tonight's not that way. And well, for a couple of reasons, we weren't sure exactly when we were coming back. I had about 5 or 6 false starts. And in fact, I think the title still says 1-7. No, it's 121. I'm just noticing that now up the top of the screen there. But anyway, but even still, there were false starts before then, thinking, all right, I'm feeling better. We're going to get back in the swing of things. We're going to do this. And then getting to Sunday, and then Sunday afternoon going, I just don't feel, yeah. But anyway, here we are. Thank goodness we are back. And I tell you what, we had one of those lingering things that I tell you what, we actually had, Sandy and myself, an actual weekend outing, believe it or not, last weekend. And it was our first outing, like actually getting out and doing things. And since October, and that's not an exaggeration, we have not been anywhere or done anything. And I tell you what, it felt good, I tell you. But anyway, also too, Audra, I'm hearing that in our area, New Jersey-ish, East Coast, that we had a blowout tide either yesterday or it was early this morning. And I knew about it. I tinkered with the idea for about 5 minutes. And then after realizing how cold it was outside, there was no. My fingers ached just thinking about the cold. But I see that some of the fellows actually braved it and got out there. And we're out on the bay and finding things. So good for them. But anyway, welcome to the live stream. And anyway, this is what we've got. We want to kind of go over. I don't have anything lined up. I don't have a vintage commercial, which isn't going anywhere. That's still going to be something that we're going to keep. And we are going to go over today's events in history. And who knows? I don't know where we're going from there, but we'll find out. And but anyway, I thought about going out today. I tell you what. Wait, what? Did you guys get the snow? We got about maybe 5 inches of snow. We still got maybe about 2 or 3 inches left on the ground. A lot of it melted today, thank goodness. But anyway, still jealous, Deej. Oh my goodness, I tell you. Now, if I could really use the time machine, I would like to see Louis Armstrong back in New Orleans when he was a young man. I don't know. That had to have been something. But anyway. Moving on, today is actually January the 21st, believe it or not. And do I have the wrong date on my thing here? I don't know. Maybe. No, I got it right. And anywho, believe it or not, Postal Service, that's right, the Postal Service between New York and Boston was inaugurated in 1673 in this date. And if you can imagine what a haul that would have been, because basically between Boston and New York was just a big expanse of wilderness. Well, except for maybe Rhode Island and little bits here and there in Connecticut. It was a wilderness. So that actually had to be some feat. But anyway, 1673. I wonder if that's actually also the inauguration of the Old Post Road, or I think we call it Route 1, I believe. But anyway, Michigan Gems. Oh, that reminds me, you folks out west in Michigan, we have to check, because I'll like to say congratulations. And actually, one more thing here. Is it final? No, you got a minute and 35 to go. And the Detroit Lions will be winning. And I don't follow football, but what I do like to laugh about it, for years I always said it was rigged. And I still think that way. They're finally Congrats to the starting lineup brand. While you're finally going to be able to unload some of those dusty Lions jerseys. But just intercepted too. Lions won. Okay. Yes, congrats to starting lineup. You got a whole new line of jerseys to sell now. And I don't know. Uh, I only personally know of one Lions fans, and that's because his hometown is Detroit. And I'm probably am going to send him a message later and go congratulations and etc. Because he's probably happier than anything. Because out here in the East, he was the only Lions fans that existed. Oh goodness. But anyway, back to history stuff. Anyway, Postal Road. Yes, believe it or not. I tell you what, I wonder what a to send a letter from Boston to New York would have cost in 1673. But well, we'll find out at some point. Also on this date, way back when, I got something saved here. I just have to find it. Cleopatra's Needle in 1881. If you ever had a visit to the Central Park in New York City, why the 3,500-year-old ancient Egyptian obelisk is actually now in Central Park. And a lot of conspiracy theories about that too, where they lined it up and everything else, and what kind of design it makes with the grid of New York City, whatever. But anyway, Cleopatra's Needle in Central Park, New York in 1881. And then, gang, 1931. We're actually going to touch on a couple of different things with this guy. Jazz trumpeter Clyde McCoy records Sugar Blues for Columbia Records, sells over 14 million copies internationally. Now, oh, Lions won. You know what? I tell you what, not only are they unloading jerseys, but they're going to have so much hype. They're going to be the underdog. You know who's really upset probably right now is probably Las Vegas having to pay those odds. I tell you, anyway. But yes, 1931, jazz trumpeter, jazz trumpeter Clyde McCoy records Sugar Blues. 14 million copies. Now, that's nothing to shake a stick at, especially in 1931, when really the phonograph is, I would consider, still to be relatively new technology. Clyde McCoy. Anyway, here, let's all have a look at this, or I should say, listen. Blah, 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 blah. Well, anyway, that there is a Clyde McCoy. And as long as you're still awake with me. But I know Clyde McCoy and his records were something else. They used to be really highly collectible. And we're having a look at this for a second. But these are neat. These are very neat. I think they should make a comeback. And well, I mean, records themselves are actually making a comeback, believe it or not. If you were to go into your local Walmart store, they're actually, you can purchase records again, believe it or not. And here, have a look at this for a second. All right, more than 2 seconds. Boom. These are picture discs, believe it or not. And these are 78 records. Now, back in the day, we'll say 20 or so years ago, these used to be highly collectible. In fact, if I saw prices like this for a Clyde McCoy picture disc, I would just go bananas. because yeah, back in the day they were commanding oh so much higher of a price. They are neat just to hang on the wall and etc. But I think these would be neat today, especially when they're trying to recapitalize on the nostalgia of actual selling vinyl again. But again, these are 78s. And there's one that's still fairly expensive, 40 bucks. I think I remember if I sold them, maybe it wasn't 20 years ago, maybe about 15 years ago, I think I was selling them for about like $60 a piece if they were in actual pretty decent shape. But yeah, they've actually come down quite a bit. Kind of neat little thing. Anyway, let's get rid of that. Now we'll leave it there. And we're back. And two gang. Oh, I tell you what, congrats to all the Lions fans out there. And but anyway, 1957, I came across this and I was surprised. I was shocked. Back in 1957, man bomber George P. Metesky, accused of 30 explosions, was arrested. Mad bomber, you believe it or not. Somehow that has escaped my radar completely. Because really, you think 30, actually, they actually consider, they think he had more bombs than that, and just some of them that weren't very successful. But anyway, he was actually quite grumpy towards Con Ed, Connecticut Edison power people, and decided to take his wrath out onto the city of New York with bombs. And but anyway, 1957. You ever had a chance, read up on it. It's a little intriguing, and you see where this guy kind of was a couple screws loose. Treasure hunting SWPA, hi. I bet you it's cold where you are. But anyway, ever have a chance, look it up. I tell you, it kind of just really, and then it took forever to catch this guy. That was kind of the amazing point for that I was kept getting. I was like, I was like almost a decade or better before catching this guy. I don't know, who knows. And but anyway, George Metesky, American terrorist who planted explosives throughout New York City from 1940 to 1955. 15 years he was doing it. And I don't know. I think there was also a movie they made in the 70s about him. Oh, whose birthday it is today? Not mine. Francis Bacon, believe it or not, is his birthday. Francis Bacon. Did we say Bacon? 1561 to 1626. And we did an actual entire show on Francis Bacon a couple years back. And I think it was for the Bacon live stream. And but that was interesting. Now, also too, real quick, and I feel ashamed of myself. I actually put that today is also Captain William Kidd's birthday. And I saw it on my Facebook, and I shared it again to the Risers Treasure Hunting Emporium's Facebook page. And I have to admit, the actual documentation for his actual birthday is kind of sketchy. So maybe I'm a little ahead of the game when it comes to what date Captain William Kidd was actually born on. But I don't know. We got to have a date in there somewhere. So, happy birthday, William Kidd. We just can't kind of float it around there. But he, you know what? Really, we don't even know he really knew. And but anyway, so I know there are some sources that can go back only so far, but the sources that go back and that say that today is William Kidd's birthday never really had the documentation associated with it, if you know what I mean. So anyway, take it for what it's worth. Hey, Green Gardener, how are you? GG. And anyway, also today, 1854, one of my, I should say favorite, one of my people I love to read about is the Old West. And back in 1854, Luke Short, American Old West gunslinger and saloon owner, not to mention gambler, was born in Polk County, Arkansas, and died. Of course, he died, but he died in 1893. And I tell you what, there's some phenomenal. Do I have that here? I think I do. Wow. I'm still getting my desk together, believe it or not. And I think when we left off with everybody, I don't. Why, I was getting this new desk, which we got the new desk in place. I got the old desk still over here. And I still haven't have everything all set up and everything where it needs to be. And, but we're getting there. I do have it. I have it handy. This is, if you like stories of the Old West and you like the cliche of gambling and early forms of poker in the Old West and want to know what it was really like. And unfortunately, this book touches on a lot of, shall we say, folklore of the Old West versus what may have actually happened. Is still entertaining. And you can still actually get some factual information from it. It's called Knights of the Green Claw, the Saga of the Frontier Gamblers. And it's by Robert K. Demerit. Now, this book is actually quite hard to find, but it still can be found. It's actually, I found it quite wonderful. But anyway, Knights of the Green Cloth. In fact, I'll put it over here pile. There's actually a couple things I want to get out of it, information-wise. But Luke Short was born on this day. And I'm trying to think. I think he was really known down in the Fort Worth area, Fort Worth, Texas. But anyway, gang, that's about all we got for. No, we got one more thing. Talk about more things I was doing was all caught up on a whole lot of Italian horror movies, which is better than anything that that Hollywood is putting out today. And was catching up on a lot of Japanese stuff. I mean, going very heavy into Japanese culture, current, and so and the Yakuza is alive and well, by the way. And so I was getting fascinated. I'm actually drinking, the Japanese green tea, which only to be disappointed that it's a product of Taiwan. But it's actually Riser's Luck there. Yeah, see, product of Taiwan. That's right. Not really Japanese. It's like if you buy the Asahi beer, on it will say product of Italy. So I don't know. Italian horror is great. Yes, it is. I love a lot of it. And I tell you why. Because not only were they low budget, but they were just strangely entertaining in somehow, some form. And really, if you miss out on a couple of plot points, they don't matter anyway. And not going to remember what the one we saw just this past weekend was, but it was really good. It had involved witches, zombies, and other gory things, and it was quite interesting. And it's funny because you can tell when either they ran out of script or they ran out of money because it just ended. There's no resolution to the plot. There's just nothing. This is the end. And you're left there going, that's it. Okay. And I tell you, they still had good special effects. That they did. But but anyway, so with weird stuff that's going on in horror movie, I don't know how I came across this, but it's well worth sharing. In fact, this evening, before going to bed, perfect time for a horror movie. I did not know this until, I don't know when I saved it early this morning at 6:04 a.m. Believe it or not, Mo Howard of the Three Stooges was in a horror movie. I don't know. I've got to see it now. It's from 1973. It's actually his last movie before he passed away. But yeah, it's called Dr. Death, Seeker of Souls. And again, back from 1973. And no matter what, I have got to get out there. I've got to find this movie because it's just going to be weird to have one of the members of the Three Stooges in a horror movie. I think is going to detract from anything else that's going on in the movie just because it's Mo Howard. I don't know. I just don't know. But anyway, so that's what's been going on. As far as buying and selling for the Emporium, oh my goodness, let me tell you what, gang. Where I was sick, I have not been to an auction. We have not purchased any new materials. We're still selling old materials over on the eBay site. But other than that, the only thing that I have purchased since I was ill is these. Because they don't publish them no more, and I'm sure that there is at least 1,000 articles in here that I've probably never read. And since these aren't published anymore, I thought, why not? Because yeah. But thank goodness that we still have American Digger magazine out there, and hopefully Butch will be around for a long, long time. Because that's really the only publication that caters to our niche hobby. And but anyway, Lost Treasure magazines. And believe it or not, somebody had them on sale over at the Facebook Marketplace. So, which was just, drive by, hand the money. They threw them in the car. We were all good. But anyway, gang, we'll be going through those and seeing what is happening in those. And who knows, maybe be able to save an article or two out of them. And yeah, should be a good time. But anyway, gang, that is what has been going on. Are we still going to be doing the giveaways? Yes. They're actually going to be restructured too. However, there's going to be a couple new little twists and turns in it to make it a little bit more fun, and they're not going anywhere. But might do them something a little bit different than we have been. But I tell you what, really digging the stream of consciousness thing. But the only thing that I did try to do a test the other day. I had the granddaughter on here, and I kind of like it. It works. I like doing stuff real time. And you know what we should do? We should practice, because I'm actually really curious about this movie. And let's try it. Is it going to hurt? I don't know. Let's see. Just hang out with me just for a second. We'll try it. Well, it would help if I actually prepped it, I guess, maybe. But well, now we'll try over here and share. But yeah, we got some changes going on. Things that we want to do with the channel. I think I'm loving about the channel now. We have absolutely zero drama. Oh boy, am I going to get on my soapbox about this? Maybe. Okay, we will a little bit. A couple of things have been running through my mind watching the world go by. Is by the way, what you're seeing, this is me right here. This is me, no filters and no AI. And a couple of things that strike me funny about that is the AI thing that's going on right now in society and in technology and etc. As much as I would love to see some of our bygone era actors do a new movie, I don't want to. I think we're getting to a point in society where so much stuff out there is fake you're going to have a group of people who are wanting to see the real, wanting to see something that isn't AI or something that's not filtered. And I think at some point you'll see a resurgence, if it's not already going on, a resurgence of live performances, a resurgence of open air concerts where people are want to see real live talent versus automated or artificial intelligence stuff being thrown at them. All right, off the soapbox. But anyway, it was just strange things I've been watching, and I'm like, and I saw what was weird is I follow an automotive group on Facebook, and they're trying to sell an automobile. It was an old Buick. I don't remember what it was, but it was from the 50s or whatever. And instead of having the photographs of the actual car, photographs you'd want to see of a car that you were trying to sell, the motor, the sides, blah, 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 the interior, they had just artificial intelligent photos of the car. And I thought that's the most bizarre thing ever. And they admit on the bottom of the photo that it's not the actual photos of the car. I thought that was the most, well, to me, the dumbest thing out there. I want to see the actual car. Why are you going to shove photos at me of a car really, truly, that doesn't exist that you're trying to sell? I don't know. I just thought it was the dumbest thing ever. But anyway, let's have a look at this. We're going to learn about this at the same time that you are. Share screen. And Dr. Death. Dr. Death, Seeker of Souls. Oh, boy. Okay. 1973 American horror film directed by Eddie Sayado and starring a bunch of people I've never heard before. Maybe Mo was cheap to get in there. Maybe it was just a Hollywood name. Dr. Death. All right. Hopefully we got a plot in here. No, there's no plot. Oh my goodness. This article needs a plot summary. Please add one in your own words. Oh my goodness. But wait. Let's try this. I'm hoping this is out of copyright. Because if this is out of copyright, we could actually do a movie night with it. That would be fun. All right. What's going on? Okay. All right. So it only has like a little brief little thing here. An evil immortal magician. That should be a fun time. On a killing spree. Better yet, targets one specific couple in an attempt to prolong his life through soul transference. Right. Okay. Well, we'll just say our anticipation wasn't that high anyway. And oh, look, they got a pic. I don't know if you guys, you guys can see it. There's Mo with a I guess a normal sized lady, and because they were all short men. They were all just barely above 5 feet tall, believe it or not. And yep, some of these actors I do not recognize at all. Look, Cheryl Miller's there playing the guitar with a monkey. And this Leon Askin, I do recognize him. I do recognize him as a bit player there. And yep, I don't recognize anybody at all. But yep, that'll be, hey, who knows? Maybe that'll be homework. Anyway, stop sharing. Whoop, and we are back. But anyway, gang, if anybody would like to pop up or share something that they have found lately, do feel free to do so. You can pop up on screen, show something that you found, or pop up and say hi. And we'll throw the link down there into the chat. Hi, Liz. How are you? Oh, you got out there when it was. I tell you what, you're braver than I am out there digging in those temps. Oh, I tell you, made my fingers ache just watching. But anyway, gang, if you want to pop up and say hello or show something that you've recently dug, do feel free to do so. Or if you want to share a little bit of a thing that you've been reading lately or a history tidbit, why, do feel free to do so. And I got my jammy on. Well, you had a late night last night. Monster Conger. Hi, Charlie. Long time no see. Do you know who this is? No. And Monster Conger. I'm actually, maybe I should not be repeating your name, not knowing what exactly that means. But bye, MJ. And but yeah, I tell you, that sure looked like a fun gig, though. I tell you. And Monster Conger. Nope, can't say I do. Oh, yes, of course I know you. Oh my goodness, how are you? And metal detecting Yorkshire for those folks who may have still be guessing. And was just thinking about you. Oh, I can't tell you when. I have an addiction to live cams around the world, Japan. And but no, one of my go-to live cams is actually in York at the train station. And I cannot click on that without thinking about, hey, I wonder if we're seeing metal detecting Yorkshire getting on the train or not. And hi. And Sandy knew who it was. And that gal, she follows me everywhere. But yes, sir. I'm glad you are doing well. You're probably at work. You are. Oh no, I moved the stream up, so it's probably what 11ish there, 11:30. And hi. Always good to see you. Well, welcome. And you should go to the camera and wave to you. And something I did with the grandkid. This is going back. Oh my goodness, that was a year ago. A year ago plus. And yeah, he's working. And there's a live cam at the Strasbourg Railroad. And me and the grandkid were on the way back from somewhere in mid Pennsylvania. I won some auction items, and the weather was treacherous. That much I remember. And so it was like 40 miles an hour all the way out to just barely on the inside of Harrisburg. And I remember the weather was just horrible, but we had to basically, instead of driving back on the turnpike, what we did was we dropped down south where it was still a lot of rain, still cold and damp and everything. And we took Route 30 home, which actually kept us in the rain instead of the ice they were getting up on the turnpike. So on the way back, we stopped to the Pennsylvania Railroaders Memorial in Strasburg, Pennsylvania, and went through the museum and whatnot. So I told the grandkid why they got across the street at the Railroad Museum. They have a live cam that watches the tourist steam engines come and go. And well, it was raining. I mean, it was freezing rain. So we ran up, waved to the camera, and then ran back. But anyway, it was amusing. But I tell you, I don't normally work Sunday nights, and I remember you did your stream on Sunday, so I just had to drop in. Why? I'm glad you did, and always good to see you. And but anyway, live streams, live cams. Now, as creepy as we may have formerly thought they were, still are to a certain extent. There are live cams, live streams everywhere, and the thing of it is, you always have to take in consideration the time differences. I'll watch the ones from Venice, and I'll watch the ones from obviously Japan. I'll watch some of the ones in Taiwan. I watch some of the ones in California. They have one over uh, Long Beach, and which I always think is weird because you think that they would show where the cam is actually there in the harbor. You would think that they would show the Queen Mary, but they don't. They have a live cam on the top of Mount Washington, and right now it's just snow, and I think all over. And I even thought about maybe probably developing a live cam thing for ourselves, maybe like for the chickens. I don't know, but there's all just live cams out there that you just don't know. They have actually do have a live cam thing for the chicken, right? And so what these folks do, they have a live. I would actually try to find it real quick, but I can't off the top of my head remember what it's called. But you can watch a live cam of chickens, and if you make a donation via the little chat thing, why you can actually send a treat to the chickens live, which I think is actually brilliant. But I haven't done it. And the thing of it is, it's just funny, you know, you'll send your $2 or $3 into the yeah, and then you watch the little electronic doodad boop, kick out a little treat for the chickens. And I don't know, one of those weird things. But artists now, okay, I'll get them back on my soapbox for a minute, talk about AI and that nonsense again. But society dictates who and what is popular. And sorry, gang, but I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. But there's so much music, so many musicians that get pushed to the wayside because of they're not deemed popular by the execs. And I came across actually a couple. There's a wonderful piano player I listen to whose name I'm not going to be able to remember. I actually will throw her name in chat or in the if anybody's interested, let me know. But there's a piano player who does well, actually there's a couple of them I watch a ragtime piano guy and this other young lady. She's from the DC area, and basically for tips or whatever, she'll actually make a song list and play your requests. And I think it's quite brilliant, and she's very, very talented. But also too, been watching. Actually, just recently discovered a young lady by the name of Allison Young, and I'm not sure where she's from. I've seen a couple of her YouTube concerts from New York City, and I'm thinking, how do these people not get out into mainstream? And it's just because the execs don't think that they're worthwhile. But I don't know if you remember the email I sent you, Charlie, but my YouTube channel got hacked. No, and permanently deleted, and YouTube could not restore it. I lost over 300 videos. Oh, no. Lost all heart in YouTube and could not be bothered to restart my channel. Ah, that's sad. Always, oh, yes, Liz, absolutely. Always back up anything you may want or need. And hi, BC, how are you? And welcome. And but anyway, I've been running this computer that I use now. I save nothing on it. I run everything that I want to save off of an external hard drive, and then we'll back that up. But yeah, I try not to save anything that could actually easily be lost or disposed of or corrupted. I've been finding that is a lot that's really going on, where files will get corrupted and then become unusable. But multiple copies. But it's still good to see it in chat, Monster Conger. But yeah, a couple of things that are going on in my head for the new live stream is I miss if you folks remember the beginning and opening of the old Riser's Treasure Hunting Emporium, I miss my old intro. And believe it or not, I have fought with YouTube and won on 3 separate occasions of copyright. We'll say we're 3 for 4 because I'm still sending emails proving that original song that I used for my intro, blah 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 blah, was out of copyright. But believe it or not, that's the only one they haven't actually said, okay, that's fine. The problem is there's these subcontracting techno babble companies that basically scan YouTube all day long, scan videos, and look for what they assume is copyright infringements. But they try doing that to stuff that is better than 100 years old and have expired of copyright. And I think it's criminal. I think it's fraudulent because anything that old or has expired copyright cannot be claimed. So basically, they're taking that revenue off of somebody else's video for something that nobody actually owns anymore. It's something that's in public domain. So, but anyway, that's still a work in progress. But after a while, I got thinking to myself, you know what? Maybe it's just time to do something new. Maybe it's time to go find those musicians, find those people out there today who are still playing their music from the heart and go, hey, this is what I need. This is what I would like to have. And then say either I'll kick you some money for it, but this is going to be my intro forever. And can you do a little ragtime piece for me or something of that nature? And since I'm going to use it for as long as I'm remain on here doing this thing, yes. They try it when I use my band songs. I don't understand. Most people don't fight those claims, so they win. And that's the thing. Just think of all the revenue money they are fraudulently getting because they don't fight. I don't know. Yeah, that's got to be fraud because then they get any revenue your video made, even though they're lying. Yep, absolutely. I see that a lot with there's some yes, like ancient music, but I see that with stuff from the turn of the last century of discs and recordings that are so far beyond copyright. It's not funny, and they'll get claimed. And a couple of those folks, actually one in particular, who I owed a lot of gratitude for, because he says, fight them. He goes, I constantly do it. He says, sometimes it's 1 or 2 emails. He says, sometimes it's a month worth of emails. But he goes, nobody owns that copyright anymore because not only is the company defunct without anyone ever purchasing the rights to that music, he was also telling me that sometimes they were just never copyrighted at all. Nobody would ever think that you'd listen to it or want to listen to it twice, let alone what could happen 80 or 100 years from now. That same mental process we see in early TV with the kinetoscopes. Nobody ever thought, what's a rerun? We're doing this once, and then come to find out they're going to play Gilligan's Island for the next 30 years. So, and oh boy, isn't that a shame? None of the original Gilligan's Island actors ever got a residual for as many times as their show was on the air and etc. None of the actors ever got a residual from Gilligan's Island. Who would have thought? Who would have thought you could make money by having it replayed over and over and over again and that people would watch it over and over and over again? I don't know. Yeah, but he's not going to play any kind of ragtime music, Sandy. But anyway, it's just weird stuff. It's where we're at. But so yeah, we got a new intro that I got kind of thought up that we're going to try and find a couple of fellows to do. or fellette, and still going to be something to ragtimey. I don't know. And also too, I'm sorry, I was distracted there for a second. Somebody was sending me Japanese stuff on my phone, and so we got that. But my important thing, I think, for the channel is going to be is realness, and even if we do delve into a little bit of politics, we won't go full bore into it. Like, we're not going to talk about any of the let's just say societal politics, like the AI thing. I don't mind talking about, because I think it's all foolishness. But that type of thing we'll probably dabble a little bit into the channel a little bit, only in where it comes into play as far as history. Because after all, technology is an important part of history in itself, tools and tool making and etc. So yeah, stuff to look forward to. But anyway, gang, we are going to be ending this here shortly, but I just wanted to pop in. I actually just wanted to get back into the groove, get back onto the screen, get back to live streaming. And because, yes, thank goodness we are up and around and almost back to the norm. Almost. We're getting there. I would love for it to be 80 degrees right now, but I don't know. Can't have everything. And so hopefully by the next time you see me again, by next Sunday, hopefully we'll have something new for the Emporium, which we'll be able to brag about. And I doubt metal detecting is going to be a thing with the weather the way it is. Although Thursday, they do have rain in the forecast, but temps, they say, are going to be in the 50s. So who knows? We may try to get out there, because I tell you, we're jonesing to get back into the fields. But good to see you. Glad you guys are feeling better. Thank you. Finally. Oh my goodness. That was a long road. A lot of false starts in there. Oh, you're starting to feel better again. Yes, it's over. And then no. But yes, thank you. But anyway, gang. But that's all we got. A couple of things we aren't going to change. We are not going to change is our might change up a little bit, but not much. We're still going to keep our charitable donation thing. That's still going to stay. And unfortunately, we didn't finish with the last one where we weren't live streaming, so we'll just carry that on to the next one. We'll keep the same one. And same thing, I think we got like $3 or $4 still in the kitty for the giveaway. $3. And so that'll stay for the next giveaway. Monster Conger. And just not used to that name. Anyway, 6 degrees Celsius and 70 miles an hour winds. That's no fun. We had a round of that a couple weeks ago where we had winds in right about the same, 70 mile an hour. I tell you what, we've had hurricanes with not as brutal of winds as we had a couple weeks ago. But anyway, gang, that's all we got for tonight. And we'll see you next week. That's next Sunday at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And go Lions! And yes, make the starting lineup, folks, happy. Go buy yourselves a Lions jersey, no matter how dusty they may be. Anyway, gang, have a great week. We'll see you next week. And who knows? We'll even may have a special guest. You just never know. All right, gang, that's it. We'll see you now.